If inflation does not come under control, central banks will be forced to raise rates to the level that's required to correct it.
Analysts from Barclays Bank and the Bank of America say Canada's central bank could jack its overnight rate to 2.25% next month in a bid to control inflation. But analysts say that's just speculation at this point.
The 75 basis points maybe isn't intended to bring inflation down. It's meant to signal to the market that when they say that they're worried about this, they're giving us fair warning to get our excessive debt in order. They're giving us fair warning to get out of the housing market if we're there for speculative reasons rather than for living purposes. And maybe the 75 basis points is just a scare tactic.
Moshe Lander at Concordia University says the bank certainly could raise the overnight rate to 2.25%, but could also be putting the word out early to prevent housing market volatility ahead. Lander notes there's still room for the rate to go up.
So as much as there's gnashing of teeth about how fast interest rates have gone up, and they have gone up fast, they haven't gone up to where they were before COVID. So if we're talking about needing to bring inflation under control, if we're talking about an overheating housing market, where we were 3 years ago was not where we are right now in terms of inflation. So the fact is that they do have a lot of scope to raise interest rates.
Because we're in such an atypical situation, perhaps they should consider reducing spending more than they otherwise would in order to help the Bank of Canada achieve its objective of bringing down inflation rates.
Waleed Hijazi at the University of Toronto's Rotman School says given the scale of the problem, the federal government must at least consider cutting spending. He notes that for every dollar of lost labor income during the pandemic, the federal government put $2.50 into the economy. The taps have closed, but the effects of that money are still being felt.
A lot of that money went into excess savings. So what could the federal government do now? As we begin to exit the pandemic, absolutely, the federal government should slow the amount of spending that they're doing. That too will alleviate demand, and that too will help reduce inflationary pressures.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.